You know, we call these the three dismal Ds: death, divorce, and disagreements. Well, that's what lawyers call them when we're talking to lay people. When we're at the country club, sipping our drinks over our 2-hour lunch after coming in from the golf course, we call these the three big dollar Ds. They are the grease that keeps the big gears of the legal machinery running smoothly. My goal here today is to keep you from being grease monkeys.
Everybody has what I call a spectrum of potential for success. And we're always somewhere on this spectrum.
I want you to take these things to heart. This is the money stuff. When I was a young man, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And somebody pointed out that I was German and that Germans aren't funny. And so I looked around for another profession, and I did the next best thing. I became a trial lawyer.
What I do with companies and the employees of those companies is teach them how to expand that comfort zone so that the things that they previously feared are now things that they do as a matter of course.
What I talk about basically is the three dismal Ds: death, divorce, and disagreements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about contracts a little bit. So we'll talk about divorce a little bit, and then we'll save the last cheery subject, death, and talk about how you can protect your assets in that case. And you're all going there sooner or later, hopefully later, but you're all going there. So
it's like our two favorite cavemen, Larry and Lloyd, and they're out there on the hunt, and they're going through the tall grass. They each have their spears in their hand, and they see something move over on the side. They head in that direction, and there's this huge roar. And Larry gets up and he looks at Lloyd and he says, "I'm out of here, dude. I have no idea what that is. I'm going back to the cave." Lloyd looks at Larry and says, "Me have spear, me kill animal." First thing you notice is that Lloyd's English wasn't quite as highly as developed as Larry's.
Well, let me give you an example. As you know, I used to represent Chuck Berry. We would send Chuck Berry to Europe to do 20 gigs in 30 days, and we'd use a one-page contract. I get 7-page contracts for people who are, as NSA members, are going to come speak to the chapter. And I don't read them. I sign them and I send them back.
The important thing about all of this is that you have to believe in yourself. There is a power within all of us and within each of you that allows us to choose our own destiny.
I'm an expert in divorce. I have handled divorces for over 20 years. I've also had plenty myself. First of all, a bunch of you are out there saying, well, divorce, harumph. I love that word, harumph. Harumph. A divorce is never, I'm not even going to listen to this because a divorce is just out of the question for me. I'll never be divorced, and then the rest of you I know are married. So rather than talk to you about prenuptial agreements, I'm going to use what we trial lawyers call demonstrative evidence, and I have 2 volunteers. Would you all come up here, please? At one point, oh, here we go, thank you. And you are?
I'm Carolyn.
And?
Carl.
Well, by the power granted to me by the National Speakers Association, and for this demonstration only, I now declare you man and wife.
Oh, cool.
I mean, a marriage is nothing more than a business relationship that is complicated by romance. I have won the wife lottery, by the way. I have the most wonderful wife in the world. Thank you, thank you. I had to buy a lot of tickets, but
every decision that you have made all of your life has put you right here today. So what does that mean? That means that every decision you make from here on out is going to determine where you go and where you end up. You will end up in life exactly where you want to end up.
Your estate plan, your will, is like your last keynote. It's going to be your last opportunity to be heard. I want to tell you what a pleasure it has been to speak with you. It is always a pleasure when I speak to a group of people and there is not somebody sitting next to me who might go to jail when I'm done talking. Thank you.
Thank you.